to another classic guitar video, and Happy New Year. Tonight's show is brought to you again by Guitar Center of Glendora, California. Really great people there. Check them out. They're wonderful. And again, Happy New Year. Tonight's guitar is a very special guitar. I've had it for a while. It is a 1950 Sherwood Deluxe Archtop electric guitar. Now it is a full-size hollow body archtop. Beautiful guitar. Unfortunately, it's not all original. I bought it that way. I didn't buy it that way. I'll reword that. I bought it as a project guitar, and I threw some parts on it just to make it playable a couple summers ago. And so now I'm going to finish the work after over 2 years. I'm just going to clean it up and do my thing to it in full setup, and see if I can do some other things to it. So let's get started with it.
Excuse me. So here it is, the 1950 Sherwood Deluxe hollow body archtop. It is a full-size hollow body archtop. Look how thick the body is. I mean, that's neat. It's got a very full sound. We'll show you the headstock and everything. It's quite lovely. It's a little dark. I'll pull it back a little bit. And there it is. And Sherwood Deluxe. Other than that, it's all original. I put modern tuners on it because it didn't have any tuners on it at all. And then somebody had replaced the original pickup and put this pickup, a hole there, left the hole empty. So I had this pickup that I put in there. It's an older pickup. I'm going to see if I can put a better one in tonight with a chrome cover on it. And then it has Gibson knobs. Other than that, it's all original. So let's go ahead and get started and have a look at this and have some fun tonight on this New Year's Eve and my birthday. Birthday is technically just in a few hours here. I'm New Year's baby, if you will. So let's go ahead and plug it in. I haven't plugged this in a while. And we'll see if it's developing problems since I last plugged it in and played it. Okay. Alright. It also has acoustic guitar strings on it. That's kind of what they put on these back then. Looks like we have an issue here. Looks like the volume works. There's no sound. Okay, interesting. Looks like something happened to it. I do have the original case for it, and put it in the original case, and it played last time. That's interesting. Sounds like it's maybe a ground issue. Maybe something with the pickup. So I will. Oh, I forgot to take my pictures of it, so we'll do that and get started with this. I'll do that here in a second. And go over this and see what problem is, if anything. There's the back of it. It's quite lovely. A little bit of buckle rash here, some checking on the finish, but it is pretty. Pretty maple, plain maple. Pretty nice. Let me take my pictures of it. I forgot to take my pictures of it.
Number one, is there any chance we can power and transport Falmouth on sea? We can try. Try hard. God out.
Okay.
I am aware of that. That each of us, including Dr. Palmer, took an oath that we would uphold the Prime Directive.
Okay.
Necessary with our lives.
Totally. Totally forgot to take my pictures of it pre. That's okay, we're doing it now. Okay. So.
Isn't that true, Frenzel? According to legend. But if this Palmer was the overseer, what were you doing in the cave?
Okay. Yeah. Strange we had a little issue there. Who knew? Who knew? Let's go ahead and take the pick guard off and figure out what the problem is, because it did play last time I played it, which was 2 years ago summer. Yeah, I mean, I just threw some parts on it and made it playable, because I was really enthusiastic about just making it playable for the time being. And that was, that was it. So, that being said, dang. Take the knobs off very carefully. Come on. There we go. You don't want to pull too hard because this wood is thin and it's old and whatnot. This guitar is 69 years old. Yeah, 69 years old. Yeah, something like that. I'm a little math deficient today. Make sure there's nothing hanging around in there. Oh, we got a little bit of dust and stuff. And make sure there's no cracks or anything like that. And you can just put this light in here and look around. There's no label on the inside. I wish these had labels on the inside, but they don't. So it's hard to tell serial numbers and things of that nature. Technically, these don't have a serial number. We'll do the other side. There's a little something hanging there. It's a little dust bunny or something. Okay, we're doing all right. So it is not. I might have to take the pickup out and take the volume and tone out and see if there's an electrical problem or ground problem or whatnot. So we'll do that. So let's go ahead and detune it. Unfortunately, I can't test play it, so that's alright. It's in pretty good condition. It doesn't have any, I mean, it's got a share of pick marks and little gouges and scratches and stuff. It's not really perfect for a 1950. It just isn't. There's kind of a crack right here when somebody put this pickup in. And it kind of cracked made a crack right here, so I'm going to see what I can do about fixing that. I'm going to have to glue it and then come up with probably a better pickup and a pickup cover, and then we'll go from there. This was probably going to be a 2-day project, which is fine with me. We'll see. And this nut is not situated right, so I wish this guitar was all 100% original. I really do. I just don't have any 1949, 50, 51 Sherwood parts. I just don't, unfortunately. We'll remove the bridge, and we will take note where it is. This is probably going to be a 2-day project, I think, maybe. We'll see. I wasn't expecting that issue. But it is what it is, and that's what it is. Sometimes the unexpected comes. And I'm fine because I'm not in a big flaming rush. I don't have this guitar up for sale. If somebody wanted to give me $800 cash for it, I'd probably sell it. Oops. And there goes the nut onto the ground. That's the original, ouch. The original ivory nut. I'll show that to you.
We were screaming. 4 minutes, 34 seconds, completely gone. My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. These lines bother me. They really do. And this is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It's amazing. It feels
So there you go. Original nut. Nutty nut. And we'll pick these strings up. And we'll put my clip on it. And clip the strings together. See? That makes it easy to keep the strings from flopping all over the place and whatnot. And then we'll remove the tailpiece. You always want to unscrew this stuff very gingerly because you don't know how it's gonna come off, so you always want to be careful. That is interesting. I forgot. Ooh, yeah, there we go. I had to be careful of that. So we got the tailpiece, the screw, and the little ivory strap button. Okay. I need to take a look and see. Check the hole, make sure the hole's good. Hole's good. Frets look okay still. I haven't played it much since I've owned it, so. Other than that. Okay, let's unscrew the pickup. There's a missing screw. Again, I did not put the pickup bezel on. It had the bezel on it, but no pickup in it. I put the pickup in it. So the person that made this crack here, they're the ones who did it. Unfortunately, and I guess they didn't want to make the crack worse, so they left that screw out. But I have screws, so I'll find a screw for that. And I'm gonna have to repair that crack and glue it overnight, I think. So very gingerly take this out, or at least pull it. Huh. And I just want to have a look in there. I don't want to mess with anything yet. I might have to put a screw back in it to hold it if I have to flip it over to check anything. So I think I'll do that now, just for the sake of doing it, because I'm going to check the jack out. I might have to pull the entire electronics out, which is not a big deal with these. It's just, just kind of one of those things. Oops, I'm sorry. Trying to keep my work area copacetic. So it played before, so something probably jostled loose, or there's a ground problem, or something. It's amazing how you can play a guitar, put it in a case, not touch it for 6 months, a year and a half, 2 years. Take it out, plug it in, and it doesn't work. Something could have happened to it, something could have jostled loose when you put it away, any number of things. I'm pretty ginger with my stuff, so that being said, we'll see. I have to stop and think a minute here what I'm going to do, because I don't want to. Sometimes it's best to just stop and think what you want to do before you do it, because this is a 69-year-old guitar, so you have to be aware of that, and anything you do to it, in terms of redamaging it, putting a thumbnail scratch mark on it, doing anything could diminish the value of it. I mean, it's not like this is a Gibson. If this were a Gibson, this would be a $10,000 guitar or more. But it's still valuable and rare and valuable to me, so I'm going to take a step back for a minute and decide what I want to do. In the meantime, I can tighten the tuners and little stuff like that, so we will do this. We will do that right now, just for the sake of doing it. Move my chair, and then we'll tighten these tuners. Again, these are not the original tuners. I want to put the original type tuners back on it, just not now, because I kind of don't have any. The tuners are kind of indicative of Sherwood /K / Silvertone esque about these tuners, so I want to put back what was essentially original on it. So that being said, I mean, these are good tuners, it's just they're not for this guitar, I'll put it that way. And when I put these tuners in it, I thought, well, you know, they're gold tone, they'll work for now. And what I did is I did not, you know how tuners of this type have a side set screw where you can set it. I did not drill a pilot hole and put set screws in it because I didn't want to put extra screws in it, because I wanted to keep the back of the neck hole mount holes for the tuners original when I do find an original set. That way I wouldn't have to worry about trying to fill in holes. And I like it when other people do that too, when they have the foresight to go, well, I'm not going to drill holes and put screws in here because then there'll be 6 more screws back here. And then when you go to put back the original tuners, then you got 6 other empty holes to deal with. So there is that issue. So okay, I did that. And we'll go ahead and we'll tighten the tuners down a little bit more, like I always do. I'm not going to go super tight on these because I don't want to crack the headstock, because this is just kind of a veneer on top, kind of a Bakelite veneer. So I have to go really gingerly. So I'm going to crack that original veneer. And for those of you who don't know, Bakelite is kind of an early plastic. It's the forerunner of plastic, to put a basic definition on it. It's called Bakelite. Just think what things like classic car and vintage car steering wheels are made out of. Kind of a plasticky material. It's called Bakelite. Pipe tips were made of Bakelite. There's Bakelite jewelry. There's lots of things that are made out of Bakelite. Made with Bakelite. I just want to go very slow, very gingerly, and not to crack this veneer. But I want the tuners tight, because I don't know when or even if I'm going to find an original set of tuners. So there is that. One of my strings came out of the mohickey here. So I'll just put it back. Maybe I'll put the other one on there too. I got 2 of them. I'll put another one a little further down, and that way the strings won't come out. Maybe. Okay, there we go. That's a little better, I think, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, good enough. Good enough. Say happy pre-New Year, everyone. What channel is the other celebrations on? It's channel 7, I think. Oops. Don't tell me I don't have channel 7. It's kind of windy here tonight, so yeah, my TV stations are going from 9, skipping 7, and going down to 6. That's interesting.
Clearance for 50.
Very interesting. I don't know, channel 7? For corn's sake? Come on now.
When a toast to 2018 continues.
Okay, well, we have that. I'll put it back on Star Trek right now. What can I say? Okay.
Make a vote.
Okay, let me sit down. I could do the polishing and dressing of the frets and fretboard. The fretboard is Brazilian rosewood, not just rosewood, but Brazilian. So that's pretty cool. Pretty neat stuff there. And so if I take the electronics out, I might have to find another better pickup than this sucker. I don't know yet, but volume works, the tone doesn't. I don't know, we'll see. I have to decide what to do right now, so it's like, in order to take the electronics off, I have to unsolder the jack, which is not a big deal. I can do that in about 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Let's see if the family wants some Christmas cookies. So I'll be right back. Got some Christmas cookies here. I'm gonna see if they want to share. I'll be right back.
My people once lived in caves, and we then learned to build huts and in time to build ships like this one.
Perhaps one day my people will travel above the skies.
Of that I have absolutely no doubt. It's not the season for lightning. It must be a warning. You've had storms like this before?
Not this one.
Nothing. But the card is angry with us. He blames us for letting Palmer escape. Vigo, we don't know that the overseer is responsible for this storm. Will they also send floods? My wife died in last year's floods. Will we all die now? We must find Nuria.
Picard, you've shown me wonders I could never have imagined, and I am grateful to you beyond words. Might I request something for my people?
You are indeed a leader.
You've shown me such generosity. I wish my people could share in it. 6 Mintaras died in a flood last winter. 4 of them children.
Okay, I'm getting somebody else a cookie. Get him a cookie. This is my cookie.
Did the 6 who were killed offend you in some way? Did I offend you? Should I have ordered the death of Troy? Please. You must tell me if there's anything I can do to change your mind.
A cookie for them.
Despite all my efforts.
Cookie for the other people in the house, and a cookie for me. Oh, let's see, I want a green one. I want a green cookie.
Maria can't be found. No one knows where she's gone.
Any sign of
You gotta have a little fun on
they have escaped
New
us.
Year's Eve, don't you?
What do we do now, Bob?
Just a little fun, not a lot of fun, just a little fun. So, yeah. So good.
Punish those responsible.
Okay, so I'm gonna have a bite of my New Year's slash Christmas slash New Year's cookie, and I'll decide what I'm gonna do. Yeah, especially on older guitars like this, that are in the 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s, etc. I really like to stop and think. before I act. Only reason being, if I go to do something and I break it, then I'm really kicking myself for days, weeks, months, years. Like I said, it's not like this is a Gibson and it's worth tens of thousands of dollars. If it was a Gibson, it'd be worth a lot of money. And I have Gibsons like this in this year range, and they're worth a lot of money. Not to brag, but I do. I need to check my stream because it says I'm offline right now. Can't be offline. Let me check it.
The drones fly themselves, and that's just the beginning. A relentless pursuit of the highest quality in watches, fashion, tech, and home are available all in one place. touchofmodern.com. We bring something new and unexpected to your life every day. So go to touchofmodern.com and be the first to discover all the novel and noteworthy items.
It says I've been streaming for 32 minutes almost. And the other side says I'm not streaming, but I am streaming. Well, there's one way to double check that real quick. I'll just go to my own page and see if I'm streaming. And it's pretty much as easy as that. Go to my channel. And I am streaming. Okay. It says I'm streaming live. This YouTube is changing their streaming console today, tonight, tomorrow, something like that, I guess. It says Heads Up Creator Studio is getting a makeover in 2019. Meet the new YouTube Studio now with more tools, personalized insights, and reimagined a dashboard. So I'm using the old one still because I'm doing an important New Year stream and I didn't want to have to learn something new from scratch right today, right now. My cookie I'm having. This cookie's really crumbly, but good. Okay. So as I was saying, this guitar is by no means perfect, and it's not supposed to be. It's a 1950. It's 69 years old. The pickguard is not original. It is a tortoiseshell type pickup. It's a more modern 3-ply, 4-ply? 3-ply pickup. The screws and the mounts are original, but the pickguard is not. That I put on. Like I said, when I got this guitar, it was kind of a project, and I threw some parts on it to make it playable, such as the pickup, not the pickup bezel and stuff. All that was there, but not the pickup. The tuners, a strap button on the side here, the Gibson knobs, and put it all together, strummed it, and it played. I played it for that day, and then I put the guitar away. And here I am touching it again another 2.5 years, 2.5 years later, and now it's not playing. So this crack that's right here was there before when I purchased it. Evidently, who put this bezel in, they didn't have the foresight to drill tiny pilot holes for the screw mounts, and when they put this one in, it cracked the body here on the top. Really unfortunate. They should have just left well enough alone. They were going to put a modern pickup in it and just kind of stop the project, and that's where it laid. So that's as far as I know on the project. As far as I know, as far as I was told, etc. So that being said, it's still a cool guitar, and I'm gonna have major fun with it. I don't intend on selling it unless somebody wants to give me like $900 for it without the case. It does have the original case with it. If somebody wants to give me $800 without the case and $900 with the case, I might do that. Other than that, I don't necessarily want to sell it. So there you have it on that. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Oops, I'll move this way the heck over. Way the heck over, okay. I had it way over on the side here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and unsolder the jack, pull the electronics, or at least, yeah, I'm pull them out and at least take a look at the pots and whatnot, and because we know the volume works because we worked it and the volume went up and down. It's the tone that was having an issue, so it's either the tone or something with the jack itself, which I doubt. Something is the pot or the pickup. If it's the pickup, I'll have to choose another pickup for it. And then I'm going to have to let this crack. I'm going to inject this crack with some glue and then let it sit overnight, and then we'll finish this project on the morrow, which I'm fine with. I don't mind finishing it tomorrow. That's cool. Be a good New Year's Day project, and plus tomorrow's my birthday, so too. So yeah. Okay. That being said, I'm going to plug in my soldering iron and do some soldering. I know that's not what it's called. I just make fun and call it that. I'll get my soldering gun out, and we will solder it. Unsolder it, technically. And this is my soldering gun that I've had since I was 10 from Radio Shack. And it's pretty darn cool.
You must progress in your own way.
So we will. You have taught us there is nothing beyond our reach.
Not even the stars.
There it is. My 37-year-old soldering gun that I got for one Christmas when I was 10 years old. Pretty cool. And I have soldering guns that are even older than this that my dad had from 60s, 70s, and 80s and all that. So, okay, unplug this sucker in. And unsolder the jack very carefully and gingerly. And you always want to take note what end goes to what piece. So you have a hot and then you have a ground, so you want to make sure of that. Okay, so let's go ahead and unsolder the... And I'm not taking a unsoldering an original factory solder here. Somebody has since unsoldered this, so I really don't like to unsolder factory solders. It's just a thing with me, if you will. Yeah. Just a thing with me. I really need a holder for my soldering gun. I had a holder, but it broke. Okay, and this is the original jack plate. Real good close up of it. Okay. Nikki! You're still there. Nikki! Nikki! Still there.
Was he properly impressed by the depth of your expertise?
I guess you're gone now.
Oh, is something bothering you?
What makes you say that?
Well,
I'll
for
be able
one
to
thing,
tell
you
if you're
haven't
still
said
there.
5 words to me since we left Prophet's Landing.
You're still, it says you're still there.
Look, if I've done something to offend you, I should tell you.
Nikki! This is my microphone. As you can tell, it's very sensitive.
I'm glad to hear it.
I'll show it to you real quick before you head off to shuffle off to Buffalo. Here's my. Whoops. You see it. Whoop. Whoop. There's my microphone.
You never bothered to ask me if I wanted to go.
You wanted to go to the governor's house for dinner?
The Samson C01U studio condenser microphone. It's just expensive, but it's not affordable, and it's really good. It's omnidirectional, USB, Mac, PC. Let the camera refocus.
Next time we are in
Come on, camera.
dinner, I will make sure you are the one to say no.
Come on, camera. This guitar I'm working on is a 1950 Sherwood Deluxe. I don't know why the camera won't refocus. There we go. Yeah, 1950 Sherwood Deluxe hollow body archtop. It's full size. I've had this a couple of years, so I'm just doing my thing to it. Pretty cool piece. It's not all original. I wish it was, but it isn't. When I got it originally, it was a project. I threw some parts on it. It worked. Now it doesn't. I threw the parts on it, played it, put it in the case, original case. 2.5 years later, I bring it out tonight. It doesn't work. So it's something with the pickup or something with the electronics. That's the quick and dirty of it. It's original flame maple, rosewood fretboard, Bakelite top on the headstock. It's a cool piece. So this is my 2-night project for New Year's, my birthday, and whatnot. So yeah, there you have it. That's it. Oops. Yeah. Okay, now you can go to bed. Go to bed. Get out of here. Go to bed. Anyway, consider this microphone. It's a good microphone. You can usually pick them up used on Craigslist or eBay for 20, 30, 40 bucks or so, give or take. Really good microphones. They're kind of big, but that's okay. I'd rather have something big and works well than something small and you can't deal with. So there you have it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Excuse me. So that's where I'm at. I think as you were coming in, I was taking the jack off. The jack off, that is, not jack off. I was taking this jack off the guitar. And I'm going to pull the electronics and the pickup and check each pot, because we know the volume pot works and the tone doesn't, and it's buzzing, so there's a ground issue, and or it's the pickup, and or it's the pot. So, oops. So that's it. That's where we're at. So now you can go. Now you can go to bed. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. So yeah, that's it. Now I'm going to pull the electronics and run a voltmeter and an ohm meter across them. See if there's something that way. And yeah, that's it. that's what we're doing. Take the jam nuts and washers off. And let the electronic kind of drop. And then I need to get my forceps and get on up in there and check the electronics. Or maybe I won't. I might be able to pull them through the... Yeah, I'll be able to pull them through the pickup hole. There you go. There's the electronics. Beautiful, aren't they? Here's... Oh, if you're still there. Or anybody else who is. I just pulled the electronics out. Here's the pickup, which is not the original pickup. I put this pickup in, but when I got it, it just had a mounted modern pickup bezel. And when they mounted the bezel, they cracked the body from here to the top. They didn't have the foresight to drill pilot holes first. So that's it. So I have a 1950s pickup I might swap this out for that has a chrome aged cover for it. I think the cover is from the 50s, so we'll put that on there and we'll see what's going on. I'm going to take my meter across everything on this. Check the wires, the pickup, see how many ohms the pots read, voltage, continuity test for ground, etc. And then we'll go from there. And that's it. So, yeah, again, that's it. We'll see what this sucker's doing and go from there. And, yeah. We'll see what kind of pickup I have for it. I don't know. I don't think I want to leave this original. This pickup is probably looks like it's from the 80s, I think. Again, I put the pickup in it, but not the bezel. The bezel was mounted, but it had no pickup in it. The guitar had no tuners. I put the tuners on it. And it had no pick guard, but it had the pick guard screws and mounting hardware. So I had a facsimile tortoiseshell pick guard that I mounted to it. Kind of like that, if you will. And, yeah. So you're still there, or are you going to fall asleep, or we'll hop? We'll hop in. We'll hop in. There you go. Okay. Well, my friend Nikki Rev, there, you can check her out. She's a real good friend of mine, who's also a good friend of my friend, truthfully Trisha. And she's really great. Nikki Rev. Nikki Rev is badass. So I'm going to take a picture of these electronics, just for the sake of doing it, I guess. Yeah. If I can get the wires to cooperate, I'll take a picture of it. Come on now. There we go. Okay. Okay. See, I'm going to say she came in at head.
From the look of
So,
things, Crystal is spreading.
yeah. I don't know if she heard my part. She was looking for a condenser microphone, or she was looking for a microphone to do her ASMR stuff. So I don't know if she caught my little quick guide. I'll have to message her and tell her rewatch our little segment when she came in, and then that'll tell her my microphone that I use. I'll be right back.
Designed ergonomically to adapt to the way you move instead of you adapting to it. But it's not just how the freeze-dried trainer lets you move, it's how it makes you feel. With a first-of-its-kind suspension system, you can experience the unique sensation of floating through your workout. With a freeze-dried trainer, you get the benefits of 3 machines in one: stepper, treadmill, and elliptical. And changing workouts is as simple as changing your stride. Change resistance at the push of a button. Use incline or decline to target multiple muscle groups like thighs, buttons, and abs. Explore anywhere in the world with a touchscreen display with iFit powered by Google Maps. Or stay connected with interactive training tools that adapt to your progress so you can reach your goals more quickly. You can even work out with friends across the globe. But the only way to truly understand how different the freeze-dried trainer feels is to try it for yourself today. Go to NordicTrack.com now to try the freeze-dried trainer risk-free for 30 days. We'll even ship it free. 18 months special financing available. Offer subject to credit approval. Some restrictions apply. Try the freeze-dried trainer for yourself risk-free for 30 days and feel the difference. Go to NordicTrack.com. The freeze-dried trainer by NordicTrack. Rise above the ordinary. If you or a loved one were exposed to Roundup weed killer and were later diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Glyphosate, the primary ingredient in Roundup weed killer, was recently designated a probable human carcinogen by the World Health Organization. Call right now. Call 800-526-3144. That's 800-526-3144. I work in construction, but my company had cutbacks, so I got laid off. To make ends meet, I missed a few car insurance payments. When I got rehired, I called my old insurance company, but they wouldn't take me back. So I called the General. They'll cover drivers that other insurance companies won't. 10 minutes later, I had the exact coverage I needed at a great price. I even picked my payment due date. Let the General make life easier. Call 800-GENERAL or go to thegeneral.com.
Okay.
Now you're sure you can pull it loose.
Okay, sorry, I was watching a recap of New York's ball drop. It's actually 1:15 there now, I guess. Yeah.
What online challenge involving an inedible object caused a lot of teenagers to get sick this year?
Was it the Tide Pod challenge?
Like washing machine stuff? So, what is wrong with you? What if they eat those?
Tide Pod challenge. Oh lordy. Don't want a Tide Pod challenge. Okay. So now let's do a visual on the pots, which are original. And check the wiring. The wiring, everything visually looks... Ooh, I think I see the problem. Okay. Interesting.
The crystal formation
Interesting.
fed off the energy from your phaser.
Shoot. Okay, this is the...
Took the beam out. Energized. Out of the make off.
Interesting. Okay.
Can't contact the runabout. There's too much interference. I'll have to walk back to the landing site and try to transport you from there.
This is the tone, this is the volume. So I see two issues readily, actually.
Are you worried about leaving me here?
Tone, volume.
Now that you mention it. Yes.
Tone, volume.
I promise not to
Okay.
go anywhere.
The two leads that come from the pickup have come unsoldered. And the ground is not soldered. Came unsoldered, I should say.
Dog, hand me that phase matrix recalibrator.
Okay.
Here you are, Father. Is it fixed yet? Well, not yet, brother. What's taking so
Okay, so that's the part of the issue here. Okay. Alright. I guess it was cold soldered. I soldered them on there quick and they worked. I very rarely have a solder come undone, but sometimes you'll get what's called a cold solder, where you solder something but it's not making connection, and then sometimes eventually it will just, it'll pop off for no apparent reason. So I think that's what happened here. So we got a ground that's off, and we got the connections on the pickup that are off. So okay. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm gonna look in my pickup stock and see if I want to replace that pickup with something a little more appropriate. Even if it's a 50s Epiphone pickup or something, you know, I don't know. We'll see what I readily have. I know I've literally got hundreds of pickups, so see if I can choose something tonight. I'll put it that way. If I can choose something tonight, then we can do something. I don't know. We'll see. Nope. Don't want that. Don't want that. Okay, so we got that. I'm sorry, I'm bumping something here. Well, we can look for a pickup bezel, or I mean a pickup cover too at the same time. And see if we can find a chrome, or maybe even a gold tone. I don't know. Chrome or a gold tone cover. I don't know. Here's a nice gold tone cover. It won't fit in a hole now. Ooh, that sucks. Damn. Okay. I can find another one. I got plenty of them. I got hundreds and 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 hundreds of them. Some bigger, some smaller. Oop. There we go. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I want one with a good patina on it too. I don't want one that's like all perfect or anything. I want one that's got good patina on it, but one that doesn't look brand ass new. You know what I mean? I've got one for bases. I've got all kinds. Maybe this one. I think that one looks kind of pretty. It's not chrome. I don't know if I want a chrome one or a gold one. Originally, well, I don't know. I have to think. Bottom line, I have to think on it. So I got a ton of them. Ton of them. I've even got black ones. Here's one that's just black. I'm not going to put black ones. I'm just saying that's what I have too. So, ooh, there's a chrome one way down there. So I do have chrome ones. Black ones, gold tone ones. Huh. Nice kind of. So there's a chrome one. Nope. No. Not that one anyway. I'll find one that's a little better. Nope. Like I said, I've got dozens, well, I've got hundreds of them. Not just in this bag either. And I got some here that are brand freaking new. That still have the, has the Alnico Epiphone plastic cover on them. See? Brand new. Those I won't, because that's a set. I don't want to break up a set, so. I don't want to break up sets. I have many sets of them too. Here's another set. Many sets of them. Many sets of them. Oh. Bezels that you can shake a tail out. Freaky freaks. Come on. Stop paying for your prescription. Download the free app today. There's brand new, got brand new. Gibson ones. They're still in the package. $35 for these freaking things. Brand new in the package, Gibson. And to prove it.
Your insurance rates skyrocket after a scratch so small you could fix it with a pen. How about using that pen to sign up for new insurance instead?
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty
I'm gonna get straight.
raised their rates because of their
Gibson, $35. Brand new. In my drawer, I've got about, on a low count, I've got 80 of these in the drawer down below here. And then that's just in gold, and then I have silver tone ones, I have black ones, I have brushed stainless steel ones. So I've got many. I've got many. Many. There's some P90 covers. I don't need P90 covers. I got lots of P90 covers. There's another gold one. I don't know. I'm just a gold one. I think a gold one. A gold one will do just fine. And you have to double check the spacing on the holes, because not all the holes match up. Like these two. They look the same, but one's a little bit thicker. See? One's a little bit thicker, and the holes don't match. The holes are just a little bit off center, see? So what you do is you pick up your pickup, and you put it upside down, and you see if it fits. And then that's what you do. Yeah, some are thicker, some are thinner, so on and so forth. There are 2 thin ones. There are thick ones, so I've got many of them. I've just got many. Yeah. That one fits too. That's a second choice. That one's got a little more patina and wear on it. So we'll see. See what I want to use up in here. And we'll look at my pickup stash and see if I want to change my pickup out or use that same pickup or what. We'll see. Gibson stuff. Gibson stuff. Come on. A ton of ferrules. Lots of parts. And many parts. And many parts. Nope, those are single coil and Telecaster pickups. No. Single coil and Telecaster. Ooh, I know what I can look for. I just remembered something. I know what I can look for. Okay. Where did that come from? Huh?
You make it sound like he planned on trapping us.
Maybe he did. It's not gonna work. We're gonna get you out of here.
16 humbuckers. Chrome. Okay. Here's. Shoot, I almost tripped over my cable. The soldering gun. Here's what I think I'm gonna do. This pickup is a vintage pickup. It's not like this pickup is from 1995 or something. It is an old pickup. That being said, I think I'm just gonna use that pickup unless there's something actually wrong with it. Then I'll have to change it out. But I think I'm gonna stick with this pickup.
So all we need to do is find a band of Nausicaan raiders and ask them to give us a hand.
I might be able to put together a makeshift generator using the covariant oscillator on the runabout.
Excuse me.
The trick will be finding the right frequency to create a sympathetic vibration inside this crystal. I'm gonna have to go back to the runabout and start.
Okay, that being said, anyway you look at it, this is going to be a 2-day project, which I'm fine with. It's just, it is what it is, and that's what it is. Okay, that being said, also, these necks do not have a truss rod adjustment. They do not. Say that again. These necks do not have a truss rod adjustment. They are a set neck. So if one ever gets warped, they're really difficult to fix. You have to steam them. You have to make yourself a steam box and steam them. Preferably do it in the summer, and then get the wet nice and hydrated, and then take it out and then put it in a jig and twist until it's straight, and then let it sit in a hot garage or in the sun or something for the better part of a week, which I've done before. I do have a sweat box. I call them a sweat box. I've made a sweat box before. So, okay. Let's deal with this electronics here. I'm going to have to set up my really wonderful vise that my brother got me for Christmas. Table vise. It's pretty awesome. From almost really nice vise from Harbor Freight. Yeah, I know, I said a nice tool from Harbor Freight. It sounds like an oxymoron, but it isn't. If you shop, you can find good stuff at Harbor Freight. Counterclockwise and tight. Come on. Okay. And then you can twist this. Here, I'm gonna move the camera so you guys can see for once. You can see my. Sorry if my shorts are not making me look like I'm all weird shape. Sorry about that. This is my show sponsor, Guitar Center of Glendora. Really great people. I'm going to put the camera down just a little bit, because not that I don't like being on camera, but yeah, this thing has lots of axes. This is to turn left to right, round and around. It's pretty cool. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. It's got a lot of nice axes. This is we're gonna open these up so we can put the electronics in there and start our soldering. You want to be real careful putting these in a vise because you don't want to mess with the pot. And these pots are 69 years old, so you want to be very ginger with them. So you just put it in the vise, and this side of the vise doesn't have any teeth on it, it's flat. So you just barely put it tight enough to hold the pot, and that's it. And then we can start our soldering, if you will. Let's go back to channel 4 and see what the celebration is. Looks like nope, NBC's New Year's Eve. Okay. Okay. I need a solder sucker. Well, I don't have a solder sucker right with me. That's something else on my wish list I need to get. Maybe somebody will buy it for me for my birthday tomorrow. I need a solder sucker. Oops. I need a solder sucker. There we go. It's magnetic, so There's what's his name? Carson Daly. You know what? I'm gonna shoot. I already took pictures of this. That's all right. I don't need to keep taking a bunch of pictures. I like to take pictures of work because I put it in my portfolio. And people say, "Well, can you show me some of your work?" Because I have somebody bringing me about $15,000 in guitars here in a day or two to do some work on, and they like to see work, so I send them pictures of, yeah, here's my vintage work. I've worked on this $50,000 Fender Strat, for example, and then they know, you know, I'm not just talking out of the side of my mouth. You know, I know what I'm talking about. As I don't care if a guitar is worth $50 or $500 or $5,000 or $50,000, I'll work on it. It's of no consequence to me. So what you do is just very carefully grab your solder with a tissue and just kind of, normally I'd have a wet sponge over here, but that's okay. I don't have to. I just have to have a tissue or a paper towel or whatever. Yeah. And it kind of acts the same way, more or less, kind of, sort of, semi. Okay, back to Star Trek. Not that I don't like Carson Daly, but okay. So we got our tone, and our volume. Wait a minute, no, our volume and our tone. This is our tone pot right here. So, shoot. Okay, alright, okay. And we're going to take this solder off.
I suppose it is. But in this case, the truth is, we're going to get you out of here, Major. And that's no platitude. I must admit, this is impressive.
I need a solder sucker. I have one, but it's clear in the shop, and I would have to, you know, go find it, and, you know, it's cold outside and windy as heck, and I just don't want to go out there. Plain, pure, and simple.
If you're asking if he stole anything, the answer is no. He even found some things we missed on our day.
So now we know he's a hard worker. The question remains, why does he want to join us done?
I have no idea.
I don't understand it. I run through the entire harmonic spectrum, and none of the frequencies have had any effect on the crystal. It's almost as if the structure of the crystal is mutating to keep us from finding the right frequency.
Oh, no.
Yes, Major? Oh, I wish there was something else I could do.
Just keep talking to me.
What do you want me to say?
Anything. Tell me a story.
A story.
I thought. Tell me how you got your name.
My name. Now that you mention it, that is an amusing story.
Tell it to me.
Well, as you know, when Dr. Morrow first brought me to his laboratory, it was under Cardassian supervision.
solder sucker too. I don't have a solder sucker. Oh yeah. Well, I don't need. I want one of my own, but yeah. Okay. Whoops! I almost knocked over my laptop. Ooh. Okay. I don't want to knock over my laptop. Okay. So we got that. Yeah, okay.
Which eventually got shortened. The thing is, for the longest time, whenever anyone would use my name, the first thing I would think of was what it meant. Nothing. What better way to describe me? No friends, no place where I belonged. I thought it was the most appropriate name anyone could give me.
I'll take care of these pots because they're 69-year-old pots, and I don't want to mess them up. So I'm being very ginger with that, and very ginger with the original capacitor and all that good stuff. So, yeah. Oop. Okay, so we get the ground. Whew. Actually warm, and it's 62 degrees in here. All right. Crack open a root beer here.
This place is gonna collapse. My kids
Excuse me. Okay, so now we have to strip and do some wire tinning and some stripping and some other stuff. So I'm going to take some pictures of the progress of my work. I like to do that, like I said.
Get your fix. Star Trek Voyager is coming up next. Part of all Star Trek on Agent I.
Because then I can prove to people that, you know, show people my work, you know. I can go, look, here's my work. Oh, shoot. Yeah, here's my work. Whoops. And you can go with me, or you can shop somewhere else for work. I stripped a little too much of that. Oh my. I think it'll be alright. I need to strip it. Oops. And then you braid or twist. Don't braid, really. And you twist the end of the wire. And then you do the same with the other one. This one I'm not going to use. Then I'm going to use the red, which is the hot, and then the ground here. The white I'm not going to use, so I'm just going to cut it what I call blank. It's just cut and then nothing stripped off of it. And I'm going to braid this, or twist this. I keep saying braid, I'm sorry. And then and then you cut the tip off of it just so it's nice and clean. And tone, volume. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to take it out of the vise just for a minute, just because I need to kind of... Okay. Okay. I'm just checking something here, because... Whoa, odor just admitted he loves her. And that's sweet. So sweet it's saccharine. Okay, so... Okay, so it's on the one with the... Just making sure... Just making sure about... I didn't take a bite of my cookie. Ignoring my cookie here.
I appreciate that, Commander.
Not a New Year's cookie, but it is a Christmas cookie.
You're just not Academy material. Here. This belongs to you.
Commander, can't we talk about this?
There's nothing to talk about. We both know you'd never make it through the Academy. You couldn't handle the workload or the discipline. You wouldn't last 2 weeks.
That's not true. I'm a hard worker. I proved that to you.
It doesn't matter. I'm not going to put my reputation on the line just to satisfy some whim of yours.
It's not just a whim. I'm serious about doing Star Wars.
I don't have time for this now. Now, whatever little scheme you had,
Okay.
It's not a joke.
Okay, now we'll solder the ground for the wire for the jack,
More than anything I've ever wanted in my life.
and then think about the electronics here. I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom here in a minute because go to the little guitarist room rather. Okay, I'll be right back.
That's right. My father. He's been chasing profit his whole life. And what has it gotten him? Nothing. And you know why? Because he doesn't have the lobes. And neither do I.
and a Ferengi without profit.
It's no Ferengi at all.
The 18th rule of acquisition.
My father is a mechanical genius. He could have been chief engineer of a starship if he'd had the opportunity. But he went into business like a good Ferengi.
Okay. All right.
Not when it comes to acquiring profit. So now, all he has to live for is the slim chance that someday, somehow, he might be able to take over my uncle's bar. Well, I'm not going to make the same mistake. gotta do something with my life. Something worthwhile.
Like joining Starfleet.
I may not have an instant for business, but I have my father's hands and my uncle's tenacity. I know I've got something to offer. I just need the chance to prove it.
I'll see that you get that chance.
You're gonna recommend me to Starfleet Academy?
I'll send you a letter the first thing tomorrow morning.
Commander, I don't know how to thank you.
Don't thank me yet. You still have a lot of work ahead of you.
Don't worry. I'm never going to regret this.
Yes, Major.
You haven't said a word to me in over an hour.
I've just been going over a few things in my mind.
Green. Freaking green.
I'm sorry I waited so long to tell you how I feel about you. If I told you earlier, maybe things would have been different.
Ay, ay, ay.
They figured out what's going on
Stupid.
here.
I'm sorry.
The situation hasn't seemed right since the beginning. There have been too many coincidences, too many unanswered questions.
Are you still trying to prove that this is all some kind of conspiracy?
You said the Marquis was standing here when he shot at you.
That's right.
Is he in my height?
No. Maybe shorter
Like this?
or less. Does it matter anyway?
Oh, come
It
on.
matters. Because from this position, you're blocking those phaser hits. There's no way someone standing here could hit those rocks without hitting you first.
Maybe he was standing somewhere else.
Maybe. Or maybe you were lying to me. Which makes 2 times you've lied to me today.
Okay.
Talking about
You lied when you said you were shot at by the
Nope.
Marquis.
Nope.
And you lied when you said...
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking something up real
to love you.
quick on one of my wiring diagrams.
Remember, Major, I pride myself on my...
Not all wiring is the same.
And I've watched you for the past 3 years.
Not all wiring is the same.
Those kind of feelings for me.
So you have to be conscientious about what you're
But love,
doing.
I'm afraid not.
Maybe I told you I loved you because I thought it would make you feel better. Because I thought that's what you wanted to hear.
You're lying again. The Kira, I know, has far too much regard for our friendship to lie to me. Even for the best of reasons. Good. And you can start by telling me who you are and what you've done with Kira.
Nope. That's not it either. Okay. Okay, well. I'm just sitting here having fun.
You really are quite a skillful investigator.
And you're quite a skillful...
Happy New Year, everyone. It's very close to being that time
You were the fugitive we were chasing, weren't you?
for New Year.
How did you get your hands on a Marquis ship?
Now, Odo, you really can't expect me to give you all the answers.
But why lead us here? Why replace Major Kira?
I needed to understand.
Okay, so I need to look at my diagram.
I suspected it had something to do with Major Kira. Now, I'm certain of it.
So your plan was to let me think she died. You thought that would take away my link to the Suns?
Then you would return to us.
I assure you, nothing will ever make me do that.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Tell me where she is.
Oh, excuse me.
You shoot me? No changeling is
Middle.
harmed another.
Positive. Middle. Positive. Ground.
Shakira's down that tunnel. 200 meters south of here. Save her if it suits you.
Tone is.
But it won't make any difference. She will never go to the How could she?
Pick up.
Armor change.
Volume. Red. Exterior. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just double checking because this is an important guitar to me, so I don't want to mess anything up. I know my wiring very well. I just have to decide how I want to wire it. So usually when I get into a little conundrum like that, I stop, like I told you guys earlier, and I really think what I want to do. So at this point, I'm going to take this original 1950s cover that I'm going to use and polish it and think about my wiring for a minute. I'm 90% sure what I'm going to do for the wiring. I just always like to kind of take a little step back and think about it. It's better, just like the old saying, measure twice, cut once, and it's kind of reminiscent of that. So I'm going to take a before picture and an after picture of my little polish job here, just because I want to. It's New Year's and I want to. So. Nope. Flash. I get too much flashback, so I'm gonna omit the flash. So we'll just sit here and have fun and talk a minute while I think about my wiring. Polish this this cover, this pickup cover, and I'll polish it and see if I want to use it. I may need or want to choose another one. I'm only going gold because a lot of the trim on this guitar is very earthy tone and browns, and the rosewood fretboard and the kind of dark brown, dark medium chocolate brown headstock and the gold tone tuners and all that, so that's why I'm deciding to go gold tone with the pickup cover. And this pickup cover is from mid-50s, so I need to be very careful with it so I don't break it or bend it or, you know, do anything like that to it. It's almost 11, so we got an hour left for before we have our new year. The ever living loving out of this cover, but not so much that I'm going to take, you know, some of the original patina off of it. I want it to look nice, but not. I don't want to make it look like it was made yesterday. So look how much tarnish I've taken off of that pickup cover. And this this sock was that color when I started, so you can see the difference. Difference is pretty wild on the difference there. I'll grab my rag and we'll polish this off. And take a look at this cover and see what we got. It's gonna look pretty nice, I think, with this cover. Oh yeah. This cover is worth about $150, maybe $200. So I don't want to bend it because it's thin metal. You want to be really careful. Now some people would line me up and shoot me for polishing it. You know, it's one of those things where you have to decide, you know. And I'm not cleaning up all the patina off of it. I'm just kind of cleaning the fingerprints off of it, if you will. See, and that's what it's going to look like. And here's what it looks like after. It's shiny, but not so shiny that it's going to take away from anything. And I do have this secondary cover that I'm going to polish and see which one I kind of like better, if you will. And then we'll go from there. And both will work because the holes line up, I think. So let me double check the holes on this second one and see if they line up. I think they do. Yeah, they do. And the difference in this cover is the cover's a little bit thinner this way. It's about a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch thinner. It's not quite as tall as the other one. So if that one doesn't fit, then I can use this one. So there is that aspect of it. So we'll clean this one up a little bit and see. I don't know, it's got some kind of hard gunk on it. I don't know. What the heck is this? Freaking crap on it. I have to scrape some of that off with a freaking razor blade, which I hate to do. Because then you end up schmucking it up. That's why I have this dull razor blade, because a sharp razor blade would be digging into the metal and it would be scratching the patina and finish and all that stuff off of it. So I'm just cleaning off some of the schmutz, if you will, off of this pickup. Take pictures of the other one in a minute here, because I forgot to take pictures of the other one here. I like to take before and after pictures because people often ask me for examples of my work, and this way I have examples of my work. Yeah. So I'll put that aside for a minute. Now we'll take this pickup and I will take a picture of it.
When I was first activated on
Okay, whoops.
and I found myself mano a mano in the Delta Quadrant. I didn't think we'd survive a week, let alone 3 years. There was strife. There was discord. You were all at each other's
Oh, come on.
But over time, I've had the pleasure and pride of watching this crew learn to work together as colleagues, even friends. Here, here. I would have thought that this eclectic group of Voyagers could actually become a family. Starfleet, Lockheed, Klingon, Talaxian, Hologram, Borg, even Mr. Paris. Granted, we've had our share of difficulties.
Okay.
We've seen the best of
Now I got a
times.
before and an after picture. They're almost exact, so I'm real happy about that.
Under the category of best of times, I invite you all to recall
Okay. Put that back, and then I'm gonna have a bite of my cookie. I'm gonna finish my cookie because I don't want to forget about it.
Good day, sir. Did you in some way?
You will reverse course immediately. This region is in dispute. You have no business in Brenham space.
I was under the impression we were entering Zal territory.
The Zal have no legitimate claim here.
I apologize for my chewing. I'm having a holiday cookie here, and I'm trying to eat it and enjoy it. So I apologize for
Unless you've got something a little bit
smacking my lips and whatnot.
turning around.
Mhm.
But I'm certainly willing to discuss this issue with you. Seems rather intense.
Next commercial break on Star Trek here. I'll check the festivities on the
As long as you travel in Zal territory, you travel like friends. I apologize for your mishap with Kron.
festivities on New Year's
The Crown claim this region.
celebration.
The Kron dominated this space many years ago. They possessed deadly weapons based on temporal science, and it kept them in power for a long time. But a generation ago, we fought the Kron. We defeated them and took back the planets that they had annexed, dismantled their military forces. Their ships still wander our territory. Don't let them trouble you. Now,
Right.
tell me about Voyager. A single ship alone. How exciting. Urged Captain. Sorry to interrupt, but the Krenim vessel is back. The demand is for you.
I have to be careful polishing these covers because they are old. And I don't want to bend them, I don't want to break them, I don't want to, you know, I want to be very astute at not messing them up.
Captain, there's spatial distortion heading toward us. Whatever it is, it's huge. 5 light years across and it's expanding. Tracking its origin.
So, that's all. I just want to be astute at taking care of it. So let's take my polish off and see what this one looks like. And then according to aesthetics, after I've polished it a little bit, then I will assess them and see which one I want to use according to fit and patina. And here's this one after I've worked on it.
She's dead. Shield at 17%. The Krenim are firing again.
So this one has a little more wear on it than the other one, and has a few dents on it.
We've done nothing to provoke these attacks.
Your presence in our space is provocation enough.
The good thing about this one is it's a little more shallow, and it will probably fit the pickup a little better. A little better. So there is that to consider. The other one is a little deeper and a little bit better condition. So now I have to decide which one I want to use. it's like, okay, which one do I want to use?
I don't respond well to threats. Then prepare to be thwarted.
Shoot. Here's the issue with this one.
All hands, battle stations.
Interesting issue with this one. And this one has string wear on it. And I'll show you my issue with this one.
You're gonna have to answer to these two.
Okay, you see this one string, that's the low E, and this is the high E. And you see this sequential string wear across the surface of the pickup. Now, the way this pickup is mounted, the adjustment screws are on the bottom, which means I'll have to flip it like this. That means the high E will now be the low E, and the wear pattern will not match. So there is that issue. So now I have something else to think about.
Star Trek Fleet Command. You have the call. Download now.
Look, isn't that Frank Thomas?
Okay.
Oh.
Oh. Excuse me.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. You look like you could still be playing. That's what I said.
Well, I am feeling stronger and leaner. So, Frank, what's your secret? I discovered eugenics.
Okay, so the screws are at the top.
Just send the text. If you're a guy over 40, text 321321.
Screws are at the top.
Complimentary bottle of award-winning eugenics.
Okay, screws are at the top. So that means the wear patterns are not going to match on this guitar cover, pickup cover. So that in turn means I don't want to use this more worn cover because the wear pattern will not match with the strings. So that means I'm going back to my original cover, which does not have any wear patterns on it. Now I could take the pickup and I could flip it like this. But in doing that I make the wire shorter and it won't reach. So there is that issue. See? It cuts the length of the wire short by about 2 inches, maybe 2.5. You see? Because the wire's on this side. If I flip it over, then the wire's on this side, thus making it a shorter reach. Okay. Decisions. So I guess I'm going to use this other cover. I was kind of wanting to use the other cover because of the patina on it was better. But, whatever. It's okay. I'm a little bit disappointed, but that's okay. I'll live. I'll live. I promise I'll live. I promise I will live. Dang it. It's kind of a shame because I was falling in love with that other pickup that had the string wear on it. But that's alright. It's not a big deal. I can adjust. I can adjust. Man, they traveled too far. Okay. Alright. What else do I have? Those are primed and ready for soldering and tinning. I got my cover chose out. Let's polish the jack cover.
Precision. My apologies. What were the exact results? The Kremlin Imperium. Our territory now includes 149 adults.
So now I'm going to polish this.
Color indications negligible. restoration. Our race
Now I'm
is
polishing
alive
the
once
jack cover,
again. The colony
jack
is
mount
on
plate, if you
program.
will. This is gold tone.
No, sir. In this timeline, the Imperium does not extend that far.
So,
Our mission is failed. Begin calculations for the next incursion.
people kind of sometimes make fun of me and they go, "Why do you take so many pictures while you're working? Why do you take so many pictures?" I always say it's better to have them and not need them than need them and not have them in case you forget where something goes. And not that I generally would, but you just never know if something's you're gonna forget something. Plus, again, I like to show examples of my work for people who ask and say, "Hey, do you have examples of your work?" And then I can email them pictures or show them pictures and say, "Yeah, here's examples of my work that I do." And people generally like that quite a bit.
They think your quest for precision is unrealistic. Sir, we will never restore 100% of what we had. We can manipulate the time continuum for another 10 centuries. It will never happen. Return to your station and begin a new set of calculations. Is that clear? Perfectly.
So I'm just polishing this up, and we'll have a look at this after it's done.
Still perceive time through conventional eyes. Never is a word that has no meaning here. As long as we stay on this vessel, protected from space-time, we have all eternity to accomplish our mission.
So we're just polishing the jack plate and jack, making it look as nice as we can, just for the heck of it. There's a couple of spots I need to repolish.
Healing was unsuccessful. Captain, during that last exchange we did some damage. The printer's aft shields are down. They're vulnerable.
Sometimes you have to polish twice, just to, you know.
We've got a power overloading sick bay. I need an engineer down here right away. Stand by, Doctor. Harry, can you handle it from here? No, sir. The overload's spreading. Half that deck is gonna blow in less than 5 minutes. Doctor, get your patients out of there.
Okay,
This is the bridge.
it's looking really nice,
How many torpedoes do we have
and
left?
yeah, it's looking really nice.
Stand by to open the launch doors.
All I can say about it.
Deploy them like mines.
Hi, Captain.
I need your finesse. Let the Krenim get within 5,000 meters of us.
No problem. Keep moving. Quickly. Please move quickly.
Warning. Structural collapse in 3 minutes.
Torpedoes armed and ready. They're within range.
Okay, this looks pretty darn spiffy, so I'm going to set it down. Take my new pictures of it. Now that I've polished it.
The conduits on deck 5 are overloading. 30 seconds till they blow. Keep moving. Please hurry.
Okay, now we have before and after. Ooh, my befores and afters are almost exactly identical. Whew. I'm about 1 millimeter off on the centering of it. That is awesome. I love it. Love taking pictures. I love it. I love it. I love it. I am a picture taking fool, as some people would call me. Or some people would just call me a fool. And that's fine too. Some people would just like to call me a fool. Okay.
Stand on right there. Assemble a security team. Survey the
Okay.
deck. I want a full damage report.
Yeah, that's ground. Okay, tailpiece. This is the original tailpiece. So I'm going to take pictures of this and polish it. Nope. If I can get it in the shot, that is. So, yeah.
Come in. Sorry about the mess.
You should see my place. Definitely this is my entertainment place.
Something on your mind?
Yes. Such enough when I like it.
Has it ever stopped you before? Broken.
I'll be blunt. Our strategy is failing. It was a good idea to try and create temporal shielding, but it isn't working.
Nope, I don't like that picture.
How many attacks will it take? Before long, there won't be a ship left to protect.
We don't have a choice.
Maybe we do.
Okay, good enough. Polish this sucker.
Behind, breaking the crew into smaller groups. Escape pods, shuttles, each one with its own course. If all goes well,
Okay.
rendezvous on the other side of Kremen's space.
These are pressed in, so there's no screws or anything, so they're pressed in.
Would be increasing our chances of survival.
Damage? The answer's no. I'm not breaking up the damage, Cookie. We're stronger as a team. One crew, one ship. The moment we split apart, we lose the ability to pool our talents. We become vulnerable. We'll get picked off one by one. Now I say we make our stand together.
To be honest, I wasn't too fond of the idea myself.
As long as Voyager's in one piece, we stay.
We stay. This looks like it's staying in one piece. Where does this go?
My lucky teacup, right over here.
Red alert! We're under attack.
Okay, so polish. Polish, polish, polish. Polish, polish, polish. Again, you want to be careful with these parts because all of these parts are original, so you don't want to break something or change, you know, the aesthetics too much. You don't want to clean and polish, but I don't want to make it look like it was. I don't want to make the parts look like they were just made today. You know, I want them to have some patina on them and some resemblance of vintage, because it is vintage. It's a 69-year-old guitar, so you want to keep that aesthetic.
This is Kate. She takes 2 prescriptions. Kate's son Jack takes 1 too. Kate works hard and thought she had good insurance, but she still pays too much. That's no good. So Kate downloaded the GoodRx app. Now she can compare prescription prices to find the best discounts. She even beats her insurance price. Good for you, Kate.
Now, if this was a Gibson, I wouldn't be doing any of this polishing. I would be doing, if anything, far, far less or none at all. Because, you know, it'd be like taking a 1959 Gibson Les Paul that's worth $300,000 and polishing all the patina off of it, and then have a slew of people pounding on your front door going, "We're gonna hang you from the nearest tree because you messed with the patina of it, you know." So you want to make it look good, but you don't want to be too crazy with it.
Supplies are limited. Call now. Call 800-821-5419. That's 800-821-5419. If your credit card debt is out of control,
Okay.
if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret to credit card
There we go. Now we're cooking with gas.
If you have more than
The way I want it to look.
You have the right to let us settle that.
And I know how to relic. I know how to artificially relic stuff too, so.
But it's great news for you.
And people call me from all over wanting me to relic their Strat or their Telecaster or their whatever. And I'm more than happy to do that because I know how to do it. But, yeah.
After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Credit Associates.
Oh yeah, we're looking good here.
If you're stuck with slow DSL or can't get cable, we've got great news. Super fast internet from Viasat is here. With Viasat Internet, there's no more choppy video streaming, and you can connect multiple devices with total confidence. Try that with DSL or cell phone internet. Upgrade now to much faster internet.
Yeah.
In fact, Viasat is 3 times faster than typical DSL.
Pretty much getting fucking bits.
Oh yeah. Okay. 69-year-old guitar. Okay, what's it,
Or call 1-888-653-8409 to sign up today, or visit your local Viasat retailer. Viasat, fast for all, is here.
When are they going to get us out of here?
Try to relax. Get back to the game. Grace Kelly. Cat burglars. The Riviera. Name the title. And the male lead.
To catch a thief.
Right.
Clark Gable.
Wrong. Kelly Grant.
I've seen a holographic version twice. It's Clark Gable.
I think you're getting them confused because they have the same initials. It was Grant.
No more 20th century entertainment. I'm terrible at it. My turn. Category. Athletics.
Fire away.
Notorious athlete. Crazy squares. Championship finals. Controversial decision.
Makoto Cho, the first and only Klingon to ever play the game during the finals of 2342. One of the referees called a penalty against his team, where Cho strangled him.
Impressive.
You're looking at a true sports aficionado. Let's see, how about interstellar history?
Oh, Rachel, the one subject I almost failed at the academy. Go ahead and ask it.
You all right?
I just hurts a little. Feels like we've been here for days.
Actually, it's been about 6 hours. Hey, let's try to Balada. Emergency crews are going to find us any minute. Come on, hurry up!
Go ahead and ask your stupid question. Before I pass out, you don't have anybody to play with.
Okay. It's a famous ship. Pre-warp civilization. Montana. Second stage. Chemical engine.
Another clue.
Vulcans. Earth. First contact.
Oh, right. Is that from Cochrane's ship? What was it called? God, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh!
Okay, here, you better lie down now. Enough trivia for now.
No, I'm gonna get this one.
Lieutenant, Ensign,
It's not time. What happened to the turbo lift?
during the last attack, 19 main power relays were severed. The entire turbo lift system is non-operational.
Get me to the jet restrict network on Deck 11. The EPS manifold must have taken a hit too.
7 of 9 can go take a look. We have to get you to the doctor.
All right.
The Phoenix.
What?
The correct response to your query. The vessel Ensign Kim was describing it was designated the Phoenix.
Not bad. I didn't realize you knew so much about Earth history.
I don't. But the board were present during those events.
Really?
It's a complicated story. Perhaps another time.
I think so.
Transverse bulkheads.
We've set up emergency force fields between all decks and every section. In the event of a cataclysmic breach, most of us will be protected.
Ingenious.
Actually, you can thank Mr. Paris. He came up with the idea.
I was inspired by an ancient steamship, the Titanic. The engineers of the day constructed a series of special bulkheads, sort of like a honeycomb, that would lower into place if they suffered a major hull breach. In theory, they could stay afloat even with half the ship filled with water.
The Titanic. As I recall, it sank.
Let's just say I've made a few improvements.
I knew your fixation with history would come in handy someday. Good work.
Doctor to Lieutenant Paris.
Go ahead, Doc.
Report to the mess hall at once. More wounded are on the way.
I'll be right there. A popular guy today.
Tuvok here.
There is an undetonated chronoton torpedo lodged in the starboard Jeffries tube on deck 11, section 2. The warhead is still active.
Do not attempt to disarm it. Hold your position and wait for my arrival. Is that clear?
Arrive quickly.
Stop the internal bleeding. You're going to be okay.
Is that your expert opinion?
That's a promise. I know, it still hurts.
Oh, it's all right.
A ruptured vertebrae. Let's see if I can repair it.
Mr. Paris, your assistance, please.
Give me a minute.
Now, Lieutenant.
I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
In case you hadn't noticed, Malala is not the only patient here.
She's in pain.
But no longer in danger of dying. That is the first rule of medical triage. Make sure the patient will live, then move on to the next one. Emotional detachment is essential. Otherwise, you risk impairing your judgment.
I understand.
You could be seeing more of your friends in here soon. If you can't handle it, I'll find another assistant. You can leave.
Physician, heal thyself.
What's that supposed to mean?
It seems to me that you're the one who's getting emotional around here.
Several weeks ago, just before the conduits on deck 5 breached, I saw Ensign Strickler and crewman Emmanuel at the end of a corridor. They were trying to reach the Jeffries tube. I kept the hatch open, waited for them as long as I could, but time ran out. I had no choice but to seal the hatch.
It must have been very hard for you.
My point is, it could have been worse. Had I lost my objectivity, I might have kept the hatch open and everyone would have perished. This man has damaged lung tissue, treated with it appropriately.
If we attempt to dislodge the torpedo or move it with the transporters, it will most likely detonate.
Can we disarm?
No. The warhead is already destabilizing. I estimate it will explode in less than 2 minutes. If we reroute emergency power to this junction and erect a level 10 force field, it should be enough to contain the explosion. We must hurry.
If I can determine the exact temporal variance of this torpedo, it will help us protect the temporal shielding.
There is no time.
We may never have this opportunity again.
I am giving you an order. Now!
The temporal variance is 1.47 microseconds.
Excellent work. But if you disobey my orders again, I will be forced to...
Criminal investigation is never simple. It's an equation of variables, suspects, alibis, and evidence. Which is why the FBI needs a brilliant mathematician like Charlie Epps to help solve these cases by the numbers.
This is different. It's not about numbers. Everything is numbers.
All day Friday, starting at 11:10 Central. Part of the day shift. Right here on HNI.
Attention diabetics. If you or a loved one took Invokana, Jardiance, or any other SGL2 inhibitor drug and were later diagnosed with Fournier's gangrene of the genitals, call right now. You may be owed significant compensation from the manufacturer. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. Call right now.
Call 800-490-9637. That's 800-490-9637.
There's only one you, with your own goals and motivations. Your own definition of healthy and happy. So why isn't there a workout made just for you? Now, there is. I am Max, the breakthrough fitness intelligence platform only on the new Bowflex Max Trainer. I'll learn your capabilities. Can you give me one more? And help you reach your goals. We can start at only 4 minutes. Don't worry, we'll take it slow. But I know how to get you to 30. Yeah, bring the fire! I'm the coach that can meet you, and you, and you. Beginner to athlete. And adapt with personalized workouts as unique as your fingerprint. And find the right fit for you. I am Max. Only on the new Bowflex Max Trainer. Personalized fitness is here at Bowflex.com, where the New Year sale is happening right now.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Publishers Clearinghouse with $5,000 a week forever.
Oh my God! You're joking!
Hey, I'm not kidding.
Hey!
You could win $5,000 a week for your life. Then after that, someone you choose gets $5,000 a week for their life. I am happy for you. Don't wait. Enter now at PCH.com. Opportunity's knocking. Answer. Enter now on February 28th. You could win $5,000 a week forever.
Remembering when to change your fridge filter is a hassle. Remembering the right filter is almost impossible. So at filtersfast.com, we have some good advice for you. Forget it. Instead, remember this. Go to filtersfast.com and check fridge filters off your to-do list forever. You can get the right filter delivered right to your door for a fraction of big box store prices with a Filters Fast brand filter. To see how much you can save, plus get free shipping, go to filtersfast.com.
Captain's log. Stardate 51268.4. This morning's attack destroyed the power grid on Deck 11. No casualties this time, but the replicator system was badly damaged. We've gone to emergency rations. As a result, the situation has gotten a little worse. Environmental controls continue to fail. 7 decks have been rendered uninhabitable. And we've had to relocate the crew. Quarters are close. Nerves are frayed. And I'm not sure what's more difficult to maintain, Voyager's systems or the crew's morale. What's important is that we're together, working towards a single goal: survival.
Happy birthday.
Happy what?
Today is May 20th.
Good. Oh, I thought we were still in April. Guess I've lost track of the time.
Well, this should help.
It's beautiful. 19th century mechanical movement. It's a replica of the chronometer worn by Captain Craig of the British Navy. His ship was hit by a typhoon in the Pacific. Everyone back in England thought they were killed. But 8 months later, Craig sailed a ship into London Harbor. There wasn't much left of it, a few planks, half a sail. But he got his crew home.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I can't keep it. Recycle it. Can't afford to waste energy on non-essentials.
Okay, sorry about that, folks. I had to fix someone else in the family's computer issue real quick. So, 2 hours and 20 minutes. So, anyway, sorry about that. Not a big deal. Okay, we will continue. We got 20 minutes until midnight. And my new year here. And I am gonna go ape. I'm gonna go ape shit. I'm gonna go outside and yell and scream and hoop and holler and everything. Because it'll be my birthday here right at a couple minutes after midnight. Take a look at my picture here and compare it so I can take a picture of the next one. Okay. Now we got a picture of it after.
They're ready now, but the modifications are untested.
Then our rounds can wait. Take me to deflector control.
Seven. Ensign.
Nope, I cut it off.
Before, I was accustomed to cohabitating with thousands of other drones, but I find it significantly more difficult to live with a single human.
In what way?
Ensign Brooks is negligent. She leaves her equipment lying around the quarters and her clothing on the floor.
Indeed. I have found that most humans...
Oh, pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good.
Indeed.
Mr. Vulcan, sir. A tactical question, if I may?
You may.
With just
Yeah. Not bad.
security sensors.
Could be a little better, but I'm not going to complain too much. I'm going to complain, but not just a little bit. We'll polish the pickguard, which is not the original, but it is an older pickguard. Oh, but the mounts are original, the hardware is original, the screws are original, but not the pickguard itself. So. Then we have New Year's in T-minus 18 minutes. It will be the year it will be the year 2019. I don't know why I said 19. I was going to say 1999 for a split second there, and I was going, no. It's not 1999. It is not 1999. It is 2020.
Stand by.
You're charging weapons.
Seven, we could use a little of that port efficiency right about now.
I can't shake them off. They're
Okay.
targeting the bridge.
I'll polish the other side. Yeah, some people don't bother with polishing the other side, but it's got dust and fingerprints and stuff, so I will polish it. Just to say I did, if anything.
Colonel Vessels, this is the captain of Voyager. You may have noticed we have a defense against your torpedoes now. I suggest you stand down.
So it's a nice pickguard, but it's not an original pickguard, unfortunately. But it is what it is. So. But I'm pretty happy with this pickguard because it's an exact copy of what was on there, so I'm not complaining too much about it not being original. So there is that aspect of it. What? Okay, so we're as we can. Okay, so here's the pickguard after polishing. Pretty nice. And again, this is not the original pickguard, unfortunately. It's unfortunate, but it is. It is what it is, and that's what it is. And then we'll go ahead and we'll polish the knobs, which are not original. They're Gibson, though. I think I'm going to do the soldering tomorrow, because we're starting to run a little bit out of time. So I don't know if I want to stream until 1 or not, because that'll be like 3.5 hours. So I'm probably going to cut this off at midnight so I can celebrate with the family, of course. You can't not celebrate with the family, so there is that. So we'll just polish up these knobs. And contrary to popular belief, yes, you can polish plastic. You just have to kind of know how to do it. Not that it's difficult to do it, I'm just saying that you just kind of have to have a little bit of a knack to do it. And yeah, that's it. So I kind of wanted to make this a one-day project, but it's okay. I'm having fun. I'm having a really good time with this project, so it's not like it's work to me, so there's that aspect of it too. So now we have the knobs all done. So I'm happy about that. Oh. Okay, so now what? Now what do we have that we can do on this left? We polish the tailpiece, pickup cover, the jack, the pickguard, the knobs. Of course, we haven't done the body or the neck or the frets or the headstock or the tuners or anything like that. I'll probably save all that kind of stuff for tomorrow. And we'll be right back.
The primary ingredient in Roundup Weed Killer was recently designated a probable human carcinogen by the World Health Organization. Call right now. Call 800-526-3144. That's 800-526-3144.
We could just do it over. But retirement planning isn't like that. You might not get a second chance to do it right. Personal Capital can help. With a retirement planner that takes the guesswork out of retirement. Join for free. You'll get all these free retirement and investing tools. Plus this free guide.
Okay, so we got this guitar we're working on. It's a 1950 Sherwood Deluxe hollow body archtop. And it is quite large. It is a full-size archtop. Full-size hollow body. I mean full-size. I mean full-size.
Over 200 star systems, 900 planets, thousands of warp vessels now. After the shockwave, everything seems to have changed. Running this again.
Spatial grid 005.
Same space, different configuration, exactly as Chakotay said. The Imperium appears to have been reduced to a few planets and a smattering of vessels. It appears that someone or something has altered history. But why would it be affected?
Perhaps we were protected from the changes by our temporal shielding.
So the question remains, what caused that shockwave in the first place? See if you can track it back to its origin.
The shockwave emanated from a planet 20 light years away. The Garen, our home world.
The Garen? We passed their planet 3 weeks ago.
The planet is no longer populated.
What?
Astrometric data indicate that the instant the shockwave appeared, the Garen species vanished.
Erased from history.
Captain.
Well, that's doing.
I'm no authority on time travel. In fact, I made it my goal in life to avoid it, but this sounds to me like a causality paradox. Temporal shockwave eliminates a single species, and all of history changes as a result.
An intriguing theory. Perhaps the Krenim are responsible. They do possess temporal technology.
But why would they alter history to undermine themselves? No, we're still missing a big piece of the puzzle. Run another scan of the...
Come on, babies. Get it on now. Come on now. There we go. I'll show you guys the electronics, what they're supposed to look like for this guitar.
10 square meters of the hull. Yes, sir. Disable the shielding. Prepare to...
This is what the guitar electronics are supposed to look like. One pickup, which goes here, which you really can't see, but it says pickup. Then you have V for volume pot, T for tone pot, the capacitor, and the jack. That is what it's supposed to look like.
I'm Anorex of the Krenim Imperium. We've transferred your crewmen to my vessel for further analysis. Your ship does not come from this quadrant.
We come from Earth, a planet 65,000 light years from here.
Right.
On the way home.
I see.
We've been observing some rather unusual events in the region. It seems your Imperium never existed. Perhaps you could shed some light on this.
That doesn't concern you. What is important is that you understand that I bear you no hostility. But you have diverted me from my mission.
Your mission? You're responsible for the changes in the time.
Okay.
You're a long way from your world.
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm trying to.
Unfortunately, only one of us can go home again. Your sacrifice will restore the lives of countless millions.
Slideshow, international size. Yeah, come on.
Energy buildup. Some kind of weapon.
Shields.
Temporal shield are weak.
Okay, duh.
integrity is still impaired. If we go to warp now, the damage to Voyager will be extreme. What about Tom and Jacob?
We'll have to go back. All hands clear the outer sections and prepare for wide-scale breaches. Tuvok, activate the transverse bulkheads.
Those shields are failing.
Engage warp 7.
They're not listening. We're losing the outer hull. Transverse bulkheads are holding.
Goodness.
On
Why
H&O,
is it doing that?
Star Trek Enterprise, followed by NYPD Blue, then Xeno Warrior Princess, right here on H&O.
I'm having a little technical difficulty here, so hold on with me, folks.
For new insurance instead. For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise their rates because of their first accident. Switch and you could save $782.
It's not bad. I can fix it in about 2 shakes of a lamb's tail here.
888-590-3356 for a free quote today. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
This is Kate. She takes 2 prescriptions. Kate's son Jack takes 1 too. Kate works hard and thought she had good insurance. But she still pays too much. That's no good. So Kate downloaded the GoodRx app. Now she can compare prescription prices to find the best discounts. She even beats her insurance price. Good for you, Kate. Good for you. GoodRx. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Download the free app today.
Each of you has done your best, but determination alone isn't going to hold this ship together. It's time we faced reality. We've lost 9 decks. More than half the ship has been destroyed. Life support is nearly gone. Voyager can no longer sustain its crew. I promised myself that I would never give this order, that I would never break up this family. But asking you to stay would be asking you to die. You will proceed to the escape pods and evacuate this vessel. Set your course for the Alpha Quadrant. Along the way, try to find allies. Secure faster ships if you can. Anything to get home. The senior staff and I will remain on board as long as possible. We will try, somehow, to rescue Tom and Chakotay. The escape pods are equipped with subspace beacons. That's how we'll keep track of you. When we find each other again, and on board as long, and we will.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I had to fix a very quick issue. So now it's fixed. Okay. We are almost at midnight, so we're almost at midnight, so
Let's take a look at them as they get ready for this proceeding here. So they, I don't know if you saw it or not, but they have signified now 1 minute until we go. We gotta get the ship in. Yeah, hold on, you see the glass. Under a minute left in 2018. It's pouring rain in New York City. That'll be the story, but nobody cares. Come on, Chrissy Teigen, give me the... This is it. It's happening right now. Sorry. It's happening right now. All right, less than 30 seconds. And I think if I can speak for us all, we saying a toast and goodbye. So here we go. Can't see a clock. Go. 7, 6, 5, 4. let us be the first to wish you and your family watching a very happy and healthy 2019 as you see the live sights and sounds here in New York on a rare rainy night. Not necessarily cold, but it really didn't matter as everybody came out to usher in the brand new year. As you see our own Lester Holt and the journalists there who are being honored tonight as a special guest to, and of course, yeah, there you go. You're going to see the kisses and all the classic sights and sounds that have been going on for a long, long time. Well, we're going to get to our next performer. Yes.
Legend with a medley of some of her greatest hits from the heart of Rockefeller Plaza. Here is the incomparable Diana Ross.
Happy New Year to you, the great Diana Ross. That's incredible. Guys, keep watching because the party's still going strong. Coming up, performances by Jennifer Lopez, Keith Urban. It's New Year's Eve on NBC. Back after this.
Yeah. These days we're all stressed. I hear you, sister. Stress can affect our minds.
Well, this dish? Stress. Stress can also affect our bodies. So I'm partnering with Cigna to remind you that your emotional and physical health are more connected than you think. Go in for your annual checkup and be open with your doctor about anything you feel, physically and emotionally, body and mind. Cigna, together, all the way. That's better. Oh, here it goes.
WWE Freestyle is proven to help people lose weight, sleep better, and feel happier. Join for free and lose 10 pounds on us.
When you have a cold, pain from a headache can make this feel like this. All-in-one cold symptom relief from Tylenol, the #1 doctor-recommended pain relief brand. Tylenol.
Before people invite something new into their homes, they want to know who you are. We're Almond Breeze, and we only use California-grown Blue Diamond almonds in our almond milk, cared for by our family of almond growers. Blue Diamond Almond Breeze. The best almonds make the best almond milk.
It's not like a full throttle.
You do more than protect parks when you share the love. You protect our future. Get a new Subaru like the all-new Forester, and charities like the National Park Foundation can receive $250 from Subaru.
Get 0% during the Subaru Share the Love event.
Let the games begin. One woman and one man will be Titan champions.
The Titan Games produce in just 3 days on NBC.
Introducing nachos like you've never had them before. Layer after layer of house-made tortilla chips, now with sea salt, creamy queso blanco, handmade guacamole, and the best chicken to ever meet a flame. Fire-grilled chicken nachos at El Pollo Loco.
There's not much time.
Final countdown initiated.
It's the final days of Nissan's year-end event. Your last chance to load up on tech and save big on our award-winning lineup, featuring the all-new Altima, Rogue, and the powerful Titan. Time's running out. Get the holiday's biggest tech before it's gone.
Get a low $199 per month lease on the 2018 Rogue, or get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models.
This event ends
January 2nd.
Better hurry.
They say you should always listen to your heart. And where better to do that than the island of Ireland. After all, your heart is the best compass there is. So get out there and fill your heart with the stuff that keeps it beating. Fill your heart with Ireland.
Gather around El Pollo Loco's latest $20 family choice dinner. 8 pieces of our famous chicken, 2 sides, and your choice of an avocado salad or homemade tortilla soup. We put the time into making it, so you can take the time to savor it. El Pollo Loco.
The wires were all toast. Yeah.
Welcome back! We are back. Chris and I are here live in Times Square on NBC's New Year's Eve, where DreamWorks and Universal's upcoming movie How to Train Your Dragon that hit the world as they get over the screens here in Times Square. So good for them. That looks awesome. And although it is already 2019 here on the East Coast,
Very warm.
it is, well, it's warm right here.
Yeah, like I'm super hot.
By the way, the rain stops in the final 15 minutes of the show.
I know.
Pleasant now. Let's go back. We're going to be checking in with Keith Urban in just a few minutes in Nashville, Tennessee, and say goodbye to 2018 there, where they're going to ring in the New Year shortly. And as we know, it is a tradition for everyone to make their New Year's resolutions. So we went out to ask some of our celebrity friends, in fact 4 of them,
for their 2019 resolution. Now, the first one, Chrissy, is Tracy Morgan.
Yes.
So before I show you,
Okay.
if you haven't seen this, what do you think Tracy's resolution was?
I mean, I hope it's to be completely the same. He's amazing. I wouldn't change anything.
All right, let's go ahead and see what Tracy's actual 2019 resolution is.
My New Year's resolution is to sign a multi-year, multi-million-dollar deal to star in an SOG, and if that don't work out, it's to get T-boned by an Amazon truck.
Okay, our next celebrity is a good friend of mine, Today's Show co-anchor Hoda Kotb. Let's check in with her resolution. Hoda?
Okay, my New Year's resolution is to drink 1 gallon of water every day. And by water, I mean wine.
Yes, girl. Yes, Hoda.
Right?
I agree. I can get down with that one.
Right, that's why we love Hoda for sure. Our next celebrity is social media superstar and YouTube creator Lily Singh. Let's take a look at what Lily's resolution would be.
Hey, what's going on? It's Lily, and in 2019, my New Year's resolution is really simple. It's to not worry about how many followers or subscribers I have. Like, that doesn't matter. Who cares if I have 14,538,624 followers or 23 followers? 22. 21.
Now, listen, here's the best about it. By the way, our final celebrity is somebody that you claim to know well. Your husband, John Legend.
I don't know him.
Hold on, here's the question I'm going to ask you right now. What do you think your husband's New Year's resolution is?
Okay, what do I think John Legend's resolution will be? Okay, well, I know what it should be. It should be to accept the fact that I'm in charge of our relationship.
All right, that's what you're saying. Let's see what his actual resolution is.
I resolve to accept the fact that Chrissy's in charge of our relationship.
There you go.
Thank you. He knows. He knows.
You got points for that. All right, let's head back to Universal Studios Hollywood for a performance by a true music icon. In fact, she is the recipient of the Billboard Music Icon Award with a medley of Old Lang Syne and Live It Up. Please welcome Jennifer Lopez.
Old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne. We'll take a cup of kindness yet for old
York. We're hoping you're right, J-Lo. An amazing year. The party is still going on in Times Square. We'll be right back with country music superstar Keith Urban. New Year's Eve on NBC rolls on right after this.
Well, the kids wanted a puppy, but they could be really expensive. So to save money, I just found them a possum.
Dad, I think he's dead.
Probably just plain possum. There he is.
There's an easier way to save. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You've tried moisturizer after moisturizer, but one blows them all out of the water. Hydro Boost from Neutrogena. With hyaluronic acid to plump skin cells so it bounces back. Neutrogena.
Inferior phone detected.
Ugh, the screen. You know, Sprint has the awesome new iPhone XR. Ooh, let's take a picture.
Cool. And Sprint will give you the iPhone XR to use for $0 a month when you lease the latest iPhone.
I can't hold this smile much longer.
I can't.
Switch today. For a limited time, we'll give you iPhone XR to use for $0 per month when you lease the latest iPhone.
It's a good thing we didn't eat these under the ceiling fan.
Listen, he's changed.
He won't be lonely anymore. We have him a friend.
Superheroes are real.
This is delusion.
We exist. We are part of something larger.
The world will never know the truth.
It's time to get us out of here, partner.
They always underestimate the mastermind.
Together we'll show the world what we are capable of.
PG-13. The unit's being replaced.
Me and the Spider are partners for life. He's gone.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine premieres January 10th on NBC.
You know, automation saves you so much, you can put more under the tree. Last minute shopper.
Get year-end savings on Ford F-150s with $12,000 off or just $179 a month. Save now at AutoNation Ford.
Here's me, Bob, sleeping like a baby because my Scarlet bedroom is only $16.99 complete. And here's me having a nightmare in my competition's similar-looking bedroom because it's a whopping $25.37. My Scarlet Complete Queen bedroom with your choice of dresser with mirror or vanity and bench, still only $16.99. Go with their vanity. The price jumps to $26.34. My Scarlet bedroom, only $16.99 every day, and only at Bob's Discount Furniture. Shh, sorry.
It's what you love. It's what you know. It's going to be a night to remember. It's time to play. Winning the Love's Company and the celebration. Along with good times and good endings. Gambay.
You know, automation saves you so much, you can put more under the tree. Last minute shopper.
Get year-end savings on Ford F-150s with $12,000 off or just $179 a month. Save now at AutoNation Ford.
They're going off. Welcome back to New Year's Eve on NBC. So let's head down to Nashville for a performance by Keith Urban.
Block of water. Here's your block of water. Yeah, 750 gallons. That's like you use it or you don't. So you use 500 gallons. Your bill's going to be $8. $7.
Yeah. And what's our actual gallons a month? Sure. If somebody's using 380 gallons a month, they should charge us. All right. All right. I'm sorry I was gone so long, everyone. I was celebrating the new year with the family, so wasn't gone that long, actually, only about 10-12 minutes. So. But I do apologize for being gone. But now I'm back, and we're going to continue with let's see, we're going to continue with let's see, we got the bridge done, we got the pickup cover done, the jack and jack plate done, the knobs done, and the pick guard done. So we're going to go ahead and well, I don't know, I guess we'll go ahead and start with a polish on the body. Now the body finish is kind of a semi-gloss, and it's not it's kind of like a nitrocellulose finish, if you will. It's the original finish. So we're just going to go ahead and start. I'm going to take a before picture of the finish and an after, just to say I did. And let's see, let me choose a good spot where there's not a lot of pick marks. And there is a lot of checking and nicks and dents and little things like that, but this is a 69-year-old guitar, so you have to figure it's
And it's free. Call right now for your free book. And as a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report. We researched over 1,200 annuities and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from financial
okay. Whoops. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Now we'll go ahead and just kind of polish. And then tomorrow night we will conclude with the electronics. And frets and fretboard, the tuners, the top of the headstock, polishing of the body, the bridge, the nut, and all that good stuff. So let's go back to the New Year's celebration. And we're just having a good time here. Ooh, I gotta remember to glue this this crack. Glue this crack overnight, so we're not into a third part 3 on this guitar. I almost forgot about that. So we need to glue this crack here that somebody did when they mounted the aftermarket pickup bezel. So we do need to consider that, and we'll do that. And we're sitting here celebrating New Year and listening to Carson Daly and their New Year's celebration. Looks like it's over. But we're sitting here having a good time on New Year's and my birthday. And we'll glue this, I'm going to inject glue into this crack and set it. And that'll be the last thing I do. And we'll let that sit overnight. And then that'll be ready for tomorrow to finish this guitar. Let's go back to Star Trek now that the New Year's celebration's over. And I'm going to stream for another 30 minutes. I know I said I was going to quit at midnight, but we're having a good time. We're having a good time here, and we'll just continue on. I know this is a long stream. This is one of the longest streams I've done in quite a while. Trying to think of what was the last long stream that I did, and I think that was for that I think that was for the 1961 Fender Stratocaster American that I did back in March. I think that was, yeah, that was St. Patrick's Day, I believe. I did that stream, so. So I'm glad you guys are bearing with me on this New Year's stream. We're having a good time on this 1950 Sherwood Deluxe hollow body Archtop electric guitar. It's a really special guitar to me because I got it from a really good friend of mine. It's bound in double white black and white black for the F holes, and it's a really great and special guitar and moderately rare. You don't see too many of these, so it's a fairly rare guitar. In fact, I looked on eBay, Reverb, and Craigslist, and there were none. There were a couple that came close, but not this specific guitar, so fairly rare, moderately rare. Let's go ahead and take our first polish off and see what it looks like. we'll go from there. Oh yeah, nice. Not that it was bad before, but we do have a lot of checking and nicks and scratches and bumps and dents, and that's fine. You don't expect a guitar of this age of 69 years to be perfect, as if it looks like it was bought brand new yesterday. You don't want that anyway, so. Doing pretty good on the guitar here. Looks pretty good. And then tomorrow we'll polish the frets and the fretboard. Another interesting aspect of this guitar is there is no truss rod in it. There's no truss rod adjustment, but I did run a straight edge across it, and it's pretty darn straight. It's only about a little less than a millimeter off. It's actually pretty darn good. I am happy about that. I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of my after. Okay, here we go. I need to look at my before so I can get an aspect of this. No, my before and after is way off. Although I am going to keep that picture, but it was a good picture. But pretty good. I'm happy with it. We got our screws. Oh, I'm going to move the screws for the jack over here, just because I want to keep everything. I'm typically a very well organized person. I like to have a place for everything and everything in its place, if you will. I'm not neurotic about it, but I'm pretty adamant about it. I'll put it that way.
Right here on H&I.
So it is the new year, 2019. Pretty amazing. It's been quite a year for me. All in all, it's been a very good year for me. Personally, financially. I don't have any major complaints. A couple of moderate complaints, but nothing outlandish. I'm pretty happy with 2018. I really am. What else do we need to polish? Let's see, we got the
and believe me, I truly understand your back pain. In my 40s, I wrecked my back. On worst days, I could hardly get out of bed.
I got a bad back. I got a really bad back. Some days are better than others, but I do have a bad back, as you guys know. Oh yeah, the inversion guy. I tried inversion. Inversion for me has been, well, inversion for me has been kind of mediocre. Yeah. Yeah, inversion for me has been kind of mediocre, if you will. I can't do that anymore. I got solder. I got solder in my carpet, and I want to have solder in my carpet. Solder droplets. So then if you step on them, if you step on them, then boy, you're gonna be hurting. So I'm gonna pull them out because that's not good. Oh, sorry. Okay. Whoop. Line off, get my trash, and then I'll put my trash away and I'll be right back.
How would you like to win $5,000 a week forever? That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, it's the new Publishers Clearinghouse Forever Prize. You could win $5,000 a week for your life. Then after that, someone you choose gets $5,000 a week for their life. I'm serious, all right? Enter now at PCH.com. February 28th, you could win $5,000 a week forever. How do I look? Better.
And I would have gotten to the work. Realistically, probably.
I come to believe that you're always ahead of me.
Okay. I'll be right back again.
We've come a long way in a short time.
One thing is clear, when necessary, humans are fully capable of reverting to old methods. The way you handled the Zindi threat was extremely effective. No doubt it's the reason why Daniels chose you to stop off.
Speaking of Vosk, it seems to me that you both have a common enemy, Daniels. Why haven't you decided to work together?
One doesn't join forces with Vosk.
He's found some partners here.
They're only a means to an end. To him, his followers, other species exist only to serve their needs.
Sounds like you and Vosk have some history.
His faction once tried to eradicate the Suliban. Trap it into our past. Alternate to prevent our species from attaining the solutions.
And how is it that you're here?
He was stopped by the temporal agents.
Are you saying you own?
Oops. Sorry about that, folks.
They still oppose us. They're still our enemy. That never changed.
Okay. So we got a lot done today. Excuse me. Let's take a look at the bridge. See if we have any issues, problems, or glitches. Bridge. So the bridge sits like this. Oops. Sorry about that. Whew, mercy. Okay, you can see where the factory setting is because you can see an outline of the bridge design right here where it's been away from the sun and light. You can see it's right there. So we're going to look at the bridge and check it for cracks. And the bridge is made of very hard, dense Brazilian rosewood. And then you have the adjusters. The adjusters are in good condition. And I'm going to adjust the I'm going to adjust those all the way down, which they're almost adjusted all the way down now. But I'm just going to go ahead and adjust them all the way down. I'm going to take the top piece off, check it, clean the dust off, and then I am going to take the adjusting wheels off and polish them one by one. And these are 100% original. So we're going to adjust those all the way to the tip. All the way to the tip. Gently set it down. And take them off and just kind of polish, lightly polish them. Yeah. I'm not trying to clean them. I'm just trying. I'm not trying to polish them, do a mirror finish, if you will. I'm just trying to clean them up a little bit, just so they have a nice adjustment surface. And then I'll wipe the polish off and then just put it right back, and that's it. That's as far as I'm going to adjust them, and that's it. Adjust it all the way down. And take this one off. And then we'll polish this one. And it looks like all the celebrations on TV are over. I think there's one on Channel 7, my area, but for some reason I can't get Channel 7 tonight. And it's really cold and windy tonight, so that might be why I can't get some of my channels tonight. I can't get Channel 7 or 9 and a couple other channels, which is uncharacteristic, but it is extremely windy outside and very cold outside. It's about 36 degrees outside right now, and very windy, very windy. So I'm going to take a picture of this. I'm going to take lots of during pictures. I'm going to take a lot of during pictures of this project because this is an important special guitar to me. And I want to be very diligent in recording my work on this very special guitar. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in its original spot, and it's a floating, so you could conceivably put this bridge anywhere from, say, about here to about here. So you've got quite of an array of adjustment for intonation. So that's pretty good. That's pretty nice. So we're just going to put a light polish on the wood. And yes, you can polish unfinished wood. I can't tell you how many people message me and say, well, you can't polish wood like that. And realistically, yes, you can polish wood like that. It's not like I'm trying to put a mirror finish on it. I'm just trying to clean it up. Just trying to clean the dust and sweat and human sweat and oils off of it and get it down to its original finish. I'm not trying to put a mirror finish on things. So let's go ahead and take a during picture of this, and yeah. Okay, get it framed up, and then we'll take a nice picture of this. Oh yeah, there we go. perfect. And then again tomorrow we will do the polish of the fretboard and frets, the tuners, and we'll finish the soldering up the electronics, and we'll solder up the pickup cover to the pickup and put this back together, and I'm very confident we'll get this guitar finished and playable by this time tomorrow. I don't foresee any issues. The electronics in this is very simple. We just have a volume pot, a tone pot, some wiring, one capacitor, and a pickup, and that's it for the electronics. So we're pretty good on the electronics here.
Be sure with the Shield. American Home Shield.
TouchOfModern.com. Things you'd never think possible are totally attainable. The shoes are handmade. The furniture grows. The drones fly themselves. And that's just the beginning.
I'm pretty happy with this guitar. I really love this guitar. I mean, there's not a lot wrong with this guitar. A lot of it is not original. I mean, the body is original, the neck is original, the headstock is original, the bridge is original, the pots are original, the wiring is original. What's not original? Oh, the nut is original. What's not original is the tuners, the pickup, the pick guard, the volume and tone knob. The pickup and the pickup bezel, as I mentioned, are not original. Somebody did retrofit a more modern pickup bezel to this, and in doing so they made a crack right here, from here to about here. And then they stopped because I think they got the feeling that they didn't know what they were doing, so they stopped. And then I put a pickup in it, and the tuners in it, and then got the guitar playable about 2.5 years ago. And then once I got it playable, I put it back in its original case, and then brought it out today, and for some reason the electronics stopped working. And then come to find out, when I removed the electronics, the wiring that connects from the pickup to the pot got unsoldered, disconnected. Evidently I accidentally cold soldered the pickup to the pot, and it came undone. So I'm rectifying that, and we'll have that done tomorrow, and we'll have this guitar playable tomorrow. We'll go ahead and we will polish the frets and fretboard and the rest of the body, the neck, the headstock, the tuners, and this guitar is very simple to work on. There's not a lot to this guitar electronics wise. There's no truss rod adjustment. There's no truss rod in this neck. It's all set, but I did run a straight edge across the neck, and it's very straight within about 1 millimeter. Ever so slightly under 1 millimeter, so it's very straight. There's minimal fret wear on this. The block inlays are genuine mother of pearl. The frets are in good condition. I would say the fret wear on this is less than 30%. And that's pretty good for a guitar that's 69 years old. So we're doing pretty good so far on this guitar. I'm pretty happy the way this guitar is coming out so far. Excuse me. And I'll be right back. Hold on a sec, guys.
too much fun.
If you said that this entire area is going to be bombed.
Planes? Stop falling back! We gotta get the hell out of here!
Guess we have to say goodbye all over again. It's hard the second time.
Can't argue with that.
I want my neighborhood back the way it was. And it wasn't I want home.
Okay, we're back. I'm going to take some pictures of my work here on the electronics. I did take a picture earlier, but I'm going to take another one from another angle. Oh, come on.
It appears that bullets and sirens aren't all they have.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I had some parts I had to move there for a second, everyone. Apologize for that. Take a picture of the nut. The nut's a little bit dirty and it's got some like glue gunk on it, so I'm gonna take a little before picture on that and work it.
Next on H&I, NYPD Blue, followed by Xena, then Hercules. Right here on H&I.
Look, isn't that Frank Thomas? Wow, Frank Thomas.
Hi, how's it going?
Come on now. Oh man. There we go. Now we're getting some of this glue off, and whoever glued this nut on last did not do it right. So we're gonna clean up this nut and make it look bright and sharp. Clean up the grooves on the nut, and it's going to be really spectacular. This is a 69-year-old nut, so you want to be extra careful with it so you don't crack it, because it is made of real ivory. So you want to be aware of that. And be very careful with it. I'm pretty good with grooving nuts. I've made nuts from scratch. I have lots of raw bone. You guys have seen me make nuts from scratch. But this is the original nut, so I'm not going to do a whole heck of a lot to this nut, other than just kind of clean it up a little bit. And then we're just about done with this video today. And then we'll continue this video tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to take our after picture right now. Oh yeah, much better difference in the nut. So I'm going to go ahead and unplug the goodness. I'll go ahead and unplug my soldering iron for one thing. And I'm going to leave the soldering iron right here. And we're doing pretty good. We're going to finish this guitar tomorrow night. I'm pretty happy with the way it's turning out thus far. So and again, here we have a 1950 Sherwood Deluxe full-size hollow body Archtop. 1950 Sherwood Deluxe hollow body Archtop. That's the full name of this guitar. It's got a single humbucker pickup with a volume and a tone. And we're going to finish this tomorrow night, for sure, without fail. So happy New Year, everyone, and thank you for joining me for this classic guitar video on this New Year's Eve and day. Thank you very much. I wholeheartedly appreciate it, and tomorrow we will continue this in part 2. Thank you. And again, this episode is sponsored by Guitar Center of Glendora. They're really great people. You can visit them. Really great manager. I know her personally. She's a really great person, CK. And check them out. They're really good there. And again, this is a really special guitar to me. Again, it's a 1950 Sherwood Deluxe hollow body Archtop. And we're going to go ahead and finish this tomorrow in part 2. So again, Happy New Year, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.